Alright everyone, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts playing as the Spanish Empire, and yes. So you might notice something a little different. Yeah, we're back in 1890. And the reason being is because I've decided I wanted to restart the Spanish series. This will be the first time me doing this, re-Spain. And there's a pretty big reason. So overall, what we have determined is first and foremost, starting with the AI generated fleets offers higher starting GDP. So as you can see, yeah, no, it's pretty fucking atrocious. I'm gonna take my headset off for a second. So it's pretty atrocious. It's a little ridiculous. I think it really needs a look at, but apparently, and I have tested this with every single nation, it's held true like 99% of the time. There was one example where it didn't happen, and it was with the USA, and so the margins on the USA are a little weird, but whatever. Anyways, getting back to the point. Starting with the AI-generated fleet tends to allow you to have a higher annual economic growth. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. I don't understand why this is a thing, but it is. So, this is going to upset a few people because they're like, oh my god, you're restarting because you suck, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, because the game's broken. The game is literally a broke dick piece of shit. I'm sorry, but it's just the fucking truth. Now, by starting with the AI-generated fleet, we start with a series of ships that we are going to have to take a look at. We're going to have to reformat them and whatnot to our preference. But overall, I think it'll be fine. Like in the case of this battleship right here, we're not going to build this because building battleships is the Spanish is pretty stupid. Dreadnoughts, they're a little more justifiable, but anything pre-battleship or pre-dreadnought battleship wise, it's stupid to build them as a Spanish. And then this piece of crap. The monitor is not a good hull design, so we're not going to be building these either. So we're actually going to go ahead and delete these. But this heavy cruiser, armed with 8.1-inch guns. It's only a 4,000-ton design, technically speaking, 3,800 tons. It's a relatively small heavy cruiser, but we can still use it. The Alerta here, this is actually kind of useful, funny enough. Now, I will reformat it a little bit to get rid of make it a 4-inch cruiser across the board. But this is actually a more useful design than what we could have potentially gotten. And then in the case of the Azor here, a little bigger on the guns than I would prefer. But overall, she's a fucking starting torpedo boat. It's nothing special. I'm going to change up the guns on it just to make them more suitable for this size of craft because 4.1-inch guns are ridiculously big for this. But we'll do these refits later. I'm not going to be concerned about them right now. As it stands, these ships will form what I will refer to as the colonial fleet, and we'll be reformatting a few things with our naming conventions and so on and so forth. So we'll get to that. So anyways, guys, to get into it, let's go ahead and start working on the things that we need to work on. So first things first. With our technology, this playthrough, we are actually going to change up our strategy a little bit. Originally in 1.5, when I did my Spanish playtest and was trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this work, I went very heavy on heavy cruisers, light cruisers, and I absolutely rinsed the United States. Well, unfortunately, in patch 1.6, due to some distinctly terrible economic changes that they've made, it really is a case of now we've realized, like, okay, in order to be able to play Spain properly, if you want to conquer territory, you have to be at war almost continuously to make money. But then it hurts your economic growth, which really hurts your long game. So we are all, instead of focusing on cruisers necessarily, we're still going to focus on light cruisers quite a bit, but we're going to focus more on destroyers. And the reason being is because a destroyer, at the end of the day, is probably one of the most useful ships in this game. For the Spanish, things like battleships are useful for late game kind of things, when you have the economy to sustain them. But in the early game, as we've seen so far, it's going to be coming down to light cruisers and destroyers. Even heavy cruisers are a little ambiguous on their usefulness. So we're going to be focusing very heavy on destroyers. And basically, from this point on, this focus will remain on destroyer tech for the rest of the game. for all intents and purposes, it will be remaining there. As such, we also need to make sure that our tech budget is able to keep up as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to up the tech budget basically 10% every month, 2 months, so that we can get this until we can max out our transport capacity. Now, in relation to our dockyard space, we will be increasing it by one year every time, and we will try to maintain the growth of our dockyards. Again, I don't foresee us being able to do it continuously, just from the perspective of how expensive it is. But we will try. With an 8.9, almost 9% annual growth, I think we should be able to maintain it. But we shall see. So, the first year, we're basically just going to try to build up our economic base, the merchant marine, get our tech rolling, destroyers, torpedoes. We're going to focus mainly torpedo propulsion, lightweight torpedoes. So to describe lightweight and heavyweight torpedoes, lightweight torpedoes are anything basically really 20-inch and lower. And then heavyweight torpedoes are 21 and higher. So 21 to 24-inch torpedoes, those are heavyweight torpedoes. 20-inch and lower are lightweight torpedoes. Basically, we're not going to be concerned with the damage the torpedoes can do, just that we can reach out and touch people with the torpedoes in the early game. Because torpedo protection in the early game is relatively low. Heavyweight torpedoes aren't really necessary. Yes, they're nice. You hit somebody with a heavyweight torpedo in 1910, for example, it's probably going to fucking split the ship in half with the amount of damage it's going to do. However, if we can't get to, say, 7-8 kilometer torpedoes in a reasonably quick fashion, our destroyer play is going to suffer as a result, and we're going to be taking needless losses. So that's kind of where my mentality is. So we're going to focus primarily torpedo propulsion first. This will also reduce the overall dud chance of the torpedoes, just so we can make sure the torpedoes are actually exploding. Because, well, if our torpedoes are going to be our primary weapon for our ships, we need them to actually detonate. So let's go ahead and proceed. And honestly, guys, I know some of you might be a little peeved about me restarting this, but I was also really enjoying it. Like, the Spanish campaign was becoming one of my, or has become my favorite playthrough so far, because I actually have to think. I actually have to kind of strategize this stuff. And I just find it really enjoyable. I think it's a really good time. And I think you guys probably were enjoying it a little bit. You guys were definitely annoyed because and it's pretty easy to tell when you guys get annoyed, because it's like, well, you need to remember to do this, you need to remember to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yes, I know, guys. I know. I'm trying. I don't have the money. The money, please, the money. Okay, so yeah, I just kind of need to run turns. Yeah, so we'll just run the first year as fast as we can, really. Oh yeah, another thing, We need to improve relations with the Americans, and we need to prevent going to war with them as hard as we can. The Americans are not going to be our primary target in this playthrough. So, just letting you guys know, again, there are some people that keep pushing back on this, but I need you to understand there seems to be a GDP link to the Panama Canal. The same thing, honestly speaking, I've never seen the Kiel Canal fail to fire, but I've had too many people tell me, yes, the Panama Canal is very RNG. There seems to be a very distinctly RNG aspect, or distinct RNG aspect to the Panama Canal. I've had plenty of people send me pictures of it's 1922, 1923 in their playthrough, and the Panama Canal doesn't exist. So I don't want to do anything to the Americans, period, in a story, until after the Panama Canal fires, because otherwise we never get the Panama Canal. So I am going to try my damnedest to prevent going to war with them, because I just want them to grow. I just want them to become prosperous, and then we'll come kill them later. If we can take anything else down here, then cool. But when it comes to affecting mainland and Panama, I don't want to touch it. So, speaking of, I haven't actually checked where our ships are. So we have a decent number of ships. Light cruiser, 4 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers. So 5 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers in the Caribbean. Which overall gives us a power projection of 20,000 right now. But that's because we don't have any ships out in the water. That's just 20,000 passive. Do we have anything down here? 2 light cruisers and a torpedo boat. Nothing there. Nothing there. 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 1 torpedo boat. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, so nothing in the islands. The Philippines has some ships, the Caribbean has some ships, and then the rest of these are going to be here in the home islands, which, again, all these ships eventually, when I do the refits for them, they'll become the colonial fleet, and I will distribute them between the 2 sides, and then we will build out the home fleet, which is primarily going to be light cruisers and destroyers, with some heavy cruisers mixed in. The heavy cruisers will be almost exclusively replaced by battle cruisers later down the line. Battle cruisers across the board in this game since the 1.6 patch have become the creme de la creme. I was playtesting the USA. Actually, I was playtesting the USA as just want to get a feel for like what the patch really did to affect like the overall play or the overall meta. And battle cruisers, because of the relative inexpensiveness of them, they've become, heavy cruisers are cool, but only if it's a hull that's capable of taking 11-inch guns. If it can't take 11-inch guns, then there's no fucking point in building it. Build a battle cruiser. Because a battle cruiser with 13, 14-inch guns is more cost effective in the long term than building a bunch of heavy cruisers with 8 or 9-inch guns. So heavy cruisers have definitely fallen off quite a bit in this patch. Now, that's not to say that you can't. Certain nations do have some hulls in the heavy cruiser category. Like the Americans actually have some really nice hulls for heavy cruisers. So do the Russians, or not the Russians, the Germans and the Japanese, or not the Japanese, it's the Chinese? I think it's the Chinese have really nice heavy cruiser hulls. I forget which one. It's been a while since I played that late with these ones. I know the Brits and the French kind of have decent hulls for this, and then I think the Italians have decent hulls. I actually haven't played far enough with the Spanish to really get to the really nice hulls, the really nice modern hulls. But the point is that, there are certain nations that can do 11-inch heavy cruisers, and those things are terrifying. Like, absolutely fucking terrifying. Now, of course, then you can look at Brother Monroe. He's got his America campaign that he's doing with DIP enabled, and it's a pretty scary sight having those 10-inch heavy cruisers just firing at you. Okay, wait, yeah, improve relations, prevent the war. We must prevent the war. But yes, I decided to make this the Friday video because really it was just like, okay, I'm realizing that there are some key problems with what we've got going on. I don't want to provoke anybody. I want to be as neutral as freaking possible to begin with. I do not want any problems with anybody. Like, please leave me alone. Let me build. Let me build up my strength. Let me reconstitute my economy. That's all I care about. All right, so we got 9 months on this. Okay, that doesn't, it's not going to do anything. All right, and then finance-wise, we're not to the point where we can actually raise the tech budget yet, but we're getting close. Oh, come on, guys. Just fucking improve relations, you fucking twats. But as you can see, our finances are actually growing at a much greater rate than they were previously. Like previously, we were basically not growing at all, and now we're actually growing at a pretty decent rate. It basically, oh yeah, no, of course, yes, I want more GDP. Did that put us over 9? Oh, not quite. So, so it's 1 basis point. So a basis point is 0.01. So it's a basis point that you gain every time it does 1%. So you gain 1 basis point. It's really weird. I don't know why the calculation is like that or why it displays as a percent, because if I'm gaining 1% of this, I should gain more, but I've at least been told that it's a basis point basically. So we're still pretty far off of gaining anything over 9%, but you know, we're closer than we were. We're closer than we were in our last playthrough. So I like it. Also, real quick, we need to check our politics. Yes, I will take any and all GDP I can get. Real quick. Okay, so Center Party. Okay, so we want to get the I would like to transition governments as fast as possible. But I'm also kind of the mind that if we have this growth right now, trying to maintain the status quo might be the way to go. If we can prevent the nationalists from taking it, the nationalists will kill our economy. They will kill it. Which, you know, funny enough, is actually kind of a fucking historical precedent. Trading guns for bullets is not the way to run an economy, just saying. Alright, so we're now making enough money, we can up that. And then go ahead and just keep running the turns. Yes, trading guns or trading butter for guns is not a good way to go about things. If you do not balance your economy properly, you will end up running into big issues. That's why wartime economies tend to cause inflation and other things like that. All right. So that's first year out of the way. That's our first dockyard expansion. Let's go ahead and go with the next one. And that's so nice to see. Like, oh, hey, we're not actually really spending that much money on that. All right. Oh, I also meant to mention before we started actually playing, and I apologize for this because this is actually kind of an important thing. I will actually be on the Discord. I will be doing up a Google document that is basically a dissertation, basically thesis, whatever the hell you want to call it. Basically, going over some of the main flaws, the main points of contention of the game, and offering solutions and whatnot. That will be available on the Discord. I'm gonna start working on that here in I'd say probably the next week or so. I'm kind of enjoying my relatively quiet week. While I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't work on Labor Day, but you know it is what it is. We didn't have any details apparently. I've had the past from Sunday to Friday, or Sunday to Thursday, because I work Friday. So Sunday to Thursday off during this week, and I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot. And it's just been one of those things where it's like, huh, yeah, this is nice. This is very nice. So, okay, so we have fast propulsion. As soon as we can get around 8 kilometers, we'll start using fast propulsion. Yeah, I think we'll start using fast propulsion around 8 kilometers, just for the sake of, hey, I wanna have these mofo's just flying at you. And our economy is growing so much faster. Oh my god, it is so nice. Actually, let's do an economy check real quick. Because I should have done this before. See what other countries are growing at, because like I feel like we have to at least be around what Austria is growing at, because Austria tends to be around the 9%. Same thing with Italy. Same thing with Japan. Spain and China tend to be around the 7 to 8% range, and then Russia tends to fall in line with Austria and Italy, and then the big four, they tend to be 11 plus. So let's just scroll up. So the British Empire 11.5, German Empire 12.07, Russian Empire 7.4, so they're actually lower than us. Wow. Austria-Hungary 9.2. Okay. China 7.7. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Around the 8%. France is actually growing at 8.9. Wow. France is actually growing it's actually growing. It's basically growing at the same rate we are. That's kind of weird, but okay. Italy actually coming in at a solid 10.5. Okay, very nice. U.S. coming in at 11.6. So they're up there with the Brits and the Germans, and then the Japanese coming in at 9.5. So they're doing well as well, and then us at almost 9. So we're overall pretty solid position across the board. Like everybody's kind of in that equal space. Again, the Chinese and the Russians are kind of the odd men out, but understandable given the near feudal nature of their economies during this time period. And that's one of the main things that I'm going to end up harping on in the Google Doc that I'm going to put together is the economic side of things. It's like this is a grand strategy game that is trying too hard not to be a grand strategy game, and it's like, come on guys, either you got to embrace it or not. Like, you got to decide. If you're going to be a grand strategy game, you got to be a grand strategy game. So hopefully the document, at least my hope, I should say, is that the document at least doesn't fall on deaf ears and somebody like actually is like, oh shit, okay, maybe. Yeah, we gotta try to reduce our. Yes, yes, I will happily help you out, USA. I need to reduce the freaking unrest. I need to keep boosting relations with them. Now the main goal is get destroyers as fast as we can. They're going to be lightweight destroyers, 850 tons. They're not going to be the greatest things, but if we can at least get torpedoes that are like 5-6 kilometer range, then at that point in time, we at least have something that, people should be scared of. And then, yeah, we're just waiting. So about every 1.5 million we're making, we can throw another 10% into the budget for research. I keep wanting to check shit because I'm used to actually having to check this stuff, and I don't have to right now. It's like, damn it, stop it, Michael. You're showing your habits. All right. And that should, if that goes, should give us positive relations with everybody. Okay, well, that's a good thing. Like, everybody doesn't want to kill us. Yay! Damn it. I opened my big mouth. That's what happened there. Alright, another 10%. So we're almost finished getting our merchant marine put together, which is good. So that means we can shift the money around, start doing crew training as well. Yeah, we don't regard this as a serious incident because I don't want to hurt my GDP whatso freaking ever. Actually, how much would that be to raise that to 100%? Maybe with growth we can sustain that? Maybe? Damn it! Fuck you, USA! God damn it! They're like, no, we don't want to be your actual friend. We still want to kill you. It's like, no, please don't. I don't want to die. Please. Please. Yes. Reduce tension, please. Dear God, reduce tension. So our first actual target of this campaign will actually be Italy. This came as a recommendation from a few people where they're like, hey, Italy's kind of isolated and, the colonies are easy to take and it's somewhat isolated and it can't directly attack you, so it's going to be an easier target to go after. And I fully agree with this. I probably should have gone after the Italian. Well, actually, now that I think about it, the Italians they really liked me, and that's why I decided not to go after them. Because it was going to take forever to actually go after them properly. So I was like, all right. And we're about to max that out. We can sustain that 1 month. Okay, we're going to take this hit because the extra money. I need the extra money. All right, so drop this back down. Thank you. I hate the fact we can't set it to 0%. I don't know why they changed that, but apparently you cannot get it to 0% anymore. I think what it is, it's supposed to be like a maintenance cost kind of deal. I think that's what it's supposed to represent. All right. So we can't do anything here yet. We just don't have the money for it. I guess we can raise it. We'll raise this by 5% when we can. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll sustain a little bit of a loss to be able to keep growing. Because crew training, as exemplified in the last portion of the Spain playthrough, that was horrendously bad. Like the crew training level was definitely hurting us in combat a lot because we were just horrible accuracy problems overall. So we definitely needed to take that into account. Now, we're definitely going to need to try to incentivize the capturing of other territories. Oh, the Austrians improved with us. Nice. Thank you. I will happily take improved relations with everybody because, well, that keeps me safe, keeps me living. Even though I will say we did do a good job fighting France. We really did. We were doing a pretty solid job. It was just the opening moves of not focusing on frack. I don't want to raise unrest. Okay, we're gonna do this. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but we're gonna do it. And yeah, I'd rather do that. Okay. Well. Okay, so wait a minute, did that go down? We were at 8.93, right? Right? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that in the video when I go to do editing. Oh, you what? I selected the option that raised it. And it went down. Is that bugged? Is that option bugged right now? I don't understand. What? What? I don't understand. All right, so 700-ton torpedo boat, 1,200 range torpedoes. This will still be standard torpedo boats, but that's fine. I think... Do I want to build a bunch of torpedo boats? Or do I want to hold out for destroyers? I guess I could go... Okay, hold on. Let's do... Actually, you know what? We're gonna scrap these. Just to get rid of them. Actually, do we have any allies? No, we don't. Okay, well... Nope, we'll not mothball them, but I will scrap them, get rid of them, and then we're going to do a new design. Actually, wait. Wait. It's not... I wanted to do torpedo boat destroyer versus... Or torpedo boat versus torpedo boat destroyer comparison. And I fucked that up. So, we will... Oh, wait, no. Do we not get a torpedo boat destroyer? What? Do we or do we not get a torpedo boat destroyer at 700 tons? Huh, interesting. Okay, so we'll hold off on that. I want to see if we get that. 6%, so be about 20 turns before we get that. That's fine. Improve relations. The Russians are apparently pissed off at us for some reason. Like, what do we do? Did we sail a little too close to Vladivostok or some shit like that again? You know. I actually had an incident in one of my playtests where sailing past somebody, I think it was China. Like I was transiting the Taiwan Taiwan Strait right here. I was playing as Japan. And I was coming down here to take Thailand, and as my fleet came through the Taiwan Strait, all of a sudden, like, minus 30 relations with the Chinese for some fucking reason. I was like, wait, what? Like, I had like 10 plus 10 with them, and all of a sudden it was like plus 20 or minus 20 something, or it was just like, okay. Apparently they do not like you coming near your port, near their ports. It's like, fuck. I really need to get this unrest lower, because I really don't want the nationalists taking control. Because if the nationalists take control, then I'm fucked. It's like, God damn it, my economy. Not the economy, you bastards. Alright. It's going to take forever for this stuff to friggin' get through. Alright, I think I'm going to build a 500-ton torpedo boat. So, do we have any other techs are coming through? No. So, we will go ahead and we will design a 500-ton torpedo boat. Running at 28 knots. And the goal of this torpedo boat is to be the devil. So we'll do torpedoes. We'll go 3-inch guns. Like so. Yeah, I think that's a good setup. Yeah, we'll go 3-inch guns. We'll up the caliber of those guns. But the whole goal is that these torpedo boats, we're probably never getting rid of them. Their goal is to literally just be as devilish as possible. Make these as big as possible. 6.2 kilometer range. Torpedoes, unfortunately, 1.2 kilometer. So we're still a decent metric off of being able to have comparable ranges, but these torpedo boats, they will at least be able to harass the enemy effectively with 3.9-inch guns, and because they're lighter guns, they're gonna not be as impeded. We can do the max range on these bad boys too, get a decent range out of them as well. So yeah, I think that is probably going to be exactly what we do. All right, and then yes, we're going to refer to these as corvettes. That's kind of how I view torpedo boats and torpedo boat destroyers. They're kind of corvettes at the end of the day. Now we're going to refer to this the Type 1. Whatever we build after this, Type 2, Type 3, Type 4, so on and so forth. So we know make it super freaking easy, make it super freaking consistent, and just make it simple. So that it's like, oh, hey, this is a Type 1 cruiser, this is a Type 2 cruiser, etc., etc. All right. and we're going to go ahead and build, like, these are primarily meant for the Mediterranean, because these things are going to, yeah, we're going to build 20 of them. These things are meant to be in the Med, and they're meant to kill Italians. Like, that's their purpose in life, is killing Italians. So let's go ahead and, well, did I skip over it? Well, I'm definitely going to do Malaga. Am I just reading over it, not realizing it? Mallorca. Okay, it was at the bottom. Okay, so there we go. These will be our make the Italians hate their lives. We'll reduce this by 25% for a bit until those are built. So these ships will act as the initial phase. The first war we do against the Italians will probably be to force them to give us Italian Somaliland and Eritrea, and then that will give us the ability to then isolate them to the Mediterranean for the most part, and then when we have the tonnage, take Sardinia, Sicily, eventually work our way around, just like the good Spaniards we are. Anybody who knows their Habsburg history understands what I'm referring to. So, and the dockyard expansion just finished. Very nice. And what we definitely need are allies. We need a lot of allies. More allies we could get, the better, just from the perspective of being able to sell boats. Selling boats. Boats and hoes. Everybody wants them. Alright, so that's going. And then, should I do a refit on these bad boys? You know what? I'm not going to do a refit on them. Nah, Chief, we ain't doing a refit on them. We're just going to design a new. We're going to design the new light cruiser. So light cruiser 1. So she maxes out at 20.5 effective. We'll stick her at 20, 21, 22. Try to put her to 23. Let's see what we can get out of her at 23 knots. Let's see what we can get out of her. All right, so let's go 22. She's not going to need a shit ton of range for right now because she just needs enough range to be able to fight in the Med. So that's primarily where these bad boys are going to be fighting. All right, 22 knots. Definitely improve her with time. This will be the Type 1 light cruiser. All right. So, with time, we'll be able to improve her and actually get that range up, speed up, etc., etc. I'm not going to armor with any more guns. I think just for the purposes of this is going to be perfectly fine. These ships are going to be more, like, hey, we actually have mass and, something to anchor the fleet to. This is definitely going to be the more Jean-Call style of play. Let's go ahead and build a few of these bad boys. Start building up the fleet in Barcelona. Then we're going to take any ships that are currently in Barcelona, we're going to stick them in Malaga for the sake of defense. And then once we get the 20 torpedo boats done, we will then proceed to build out another, I'd say about 10. Yeah, we'll do 10. We'll do 10 with these light cruisers that we're building. Because we're gonna be going into this war very skimp when it comes to our overall tonnage. Because the goal is going to be is they have a relatively small fleet overall, and we can potentially kill them very easily. We also really can't decrease relations with them right now. Oof. It's kind of a problem. Maybe we can provoke them a little bit by putting boats out by their coasts. I think we could potentially do that. So we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. I really don't want to eat any unrest. So yeah, the money's nice, but I really need to get the unrest down. I don't want to know what happens with this next election. Like this next election, if the right wing takes it, then it's fine, because we know for a fact the right wing party doesn't destroy your GDP growth. If the nationalists take it and all of a sudden I'm at 6% GDP growth, I'm going to be pissed. It's like, damn it. Why? Please don't. Why are you doing this? Okay. Actually look at politics real quick. Let's keep boosting with the Americans, or at least trying. And then let's also go ahead and build out 10 of these to go into Barcelona with the light cruisers. We actually have a bigger navy than the Empire of Japan right now. That's kind of funny. All right, so yeah, my GDP growth went down again. What the hell, man? Why is it dropping? I don't want it to drop. Please no. All right, so who do we improve with? The Brit. So we're on the way of making the Brits a friend. So let's go ahead and make the Brits a friend. Because that might actually hurt our relations with the Italians, which works in our favor. So I approve. And if we can get a free alliance with them, yay. Be great. Be awesome. Be perfect. Magnifico. All right, so 1,500 range torpedoes in 2 months. Torpedo boat destroyer. Okay, torpedo boat destroyer comes after the 700-ton torpedo boat. Okay, got it. Yeah, still can't put this up. I can raise it a little bit. Yeah. Here come the elections soon. Uzbekistan? I do not give a crap about Uzbekistan. I hate losing any amount of money right now, though. That just annoys me. Alright, elections. Please, please, no Nationalist Party. Please, no Nationalist Party. Please. Fuck. Wait, what? What? Excuse me. What? Oh, it hasn't taken effect yet. This is about to hurt. It's gonna take effect next turn. Okay. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it, Sam. I am. I do not like it. I do not like green eggs and ham. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh God. Oh God. Please, 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 please. Oh Lord. Lord have mercy, please. Oh God, no. Why? Oh, you bastards. Oh, you freaking twats. Alright, well, you know what? Now what we can do is we can increase tension with the Italians, go to war against the Italians, have the unrest pile up. If we can manage it. See, this is the point, is we got to manage it properly. But we can go to war with the Italians, have the unrest higher, so that hopefully the right-wing party takes control and we're able to kind of reset the economy. Oh my god, we're below 7% now. I hate you so much, nationalists. It's disgusting. It's diabolical and it's disgusting. And I don't know why that's... I don't understand. It's like, I don't want... I had a perfectly fine budget. By having this be a thing, you've now killed the ability for me to get more money later. You freaking twats. Oh, no. No, it's painful. It hurts. I don't want pain. I don't want to suffer. I'm sorry that you guys are idiots. Oh, yeah, like, shit, if we're gonna get a bunch of decreased relations with the... Wow, okay, if we're gonna just keep getting events to decrease relations with them, that's great. It's like, okay, well, I guess we'll get into the war and kill you. We can just put torpedo boats all by their ports and just sink all their transports. Like, we can get real mischievous with this shit. All right, we're just gonna go down as far as we can, and then we're gonna go ahead and readjust the budgets a little bit. Also, by relying heavily on destroyers for this playthrough, it's going to help our overall crew situation, because, you know, we're not going to be trying to staff a bunch of big ships. We're going to be trying to staff a bunch of small ships. So here's hoping. All right, guys. You know what? Yeah, we'll rush through the last bit of this real quick and then proceed to call it quits. Secondary turrets on light cruisers, which we will happily do in a bit when we do the refits for our light cruisers. We really can't build any more ships given our budgets and everything. Yeah, we really can't. Politics, no. Increased tension, yes. Remember, boys and girls, it's not Spain without pain. Oh, the French are actually becoming buddy-buddy with us. That's actually good. They decommissioned their entire freaking fleet for some ungodly known reason. Okay, whatever. I guess that pure Sigma move right there. You know, just be like, hey, you guys can just have the war. It's all good. This would actually be the perfect time to get into this war. Like, oh, you don't have a fleet? Okay, cool. I'll just sit on your ports and just kill everything. And just start building up the bank a little bit. Let's improve relations. We need to start alternating. I keep forgetting to do that, as alternating, improving, while also increasing tensions. or attempting to improve. Damn it, dude. Like, fucking eat my provocation and let me kill you. Like, stop resisting. Actually, real quick, let's actually look at torpedo boat destroyer. So torpedo boat destroyers, if I remember correctly, can actually take minesweeping equipment. So these bad boys, we're just basically going to carbon copy the former classic Corvette. And yes, I'm going to refer to these as Corvettes. Basically just going to make a carbon copy, but the advantage of these, again, is the fact that they can take minesweeping equipment, so we will use that to our advantage. So, and hopefully, how many do we want to build? Should I build about 20? Because these are the ones that should be accompanying the fleets. Yeah, we'll make 20 of these, I think. I meant to call it light Corvette. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, we'll make 20 of these. We'll do 10 of them in Barcelona. We'll do 10 of them in Valencia. Because these ships are purely meant for the Mediterranean at this point in time. Like, that's kind of my mentality, is that, okay, all of our torpedo boats, all 50 of them, it's quite a few, all 50 of these guys are going to be used to fight the Italians, fight the Austrians. Basically, we're going for Mediterranean dominance with these torpedo boats. So that's the whole goal with them. Now, with these bad boys, they're going to have the 1500 range torpedoes. Yes. So our torpedo boats have 1200 range right now. Our torpedo boat destroyers are going to have 1500 range. So they're going to have a little better range on the torpedoes. So that's going to be an advantage for us. We're going to have to adjust this down to allow for the construction, so we don't lose that on our little bank that we've got saved up. All right, cool. Let's poke the Italians again. And then that's the max dockyard size increase done. All right. And that is January 1895. The Kiel Canal has opened up. Let's go ahead and queue this up again. 22,000 tons, which actually, if I remember correctly, it's around the Espada class Dreadnoughts were about 22,000. So it's actually pretty nice to have that available right now. All right, so overall, I think we're in a pretty solid position. We're about to get destroyers unlocked in 3 months, which means we probably can get the destroyers out before we start the war with them, which I'll probably build 10 of them, because we're only going to have the one fleet operating, like the one core fleet, I should say, operating. Our torpedo boats, we're literally going to place them around all their ports and just try to kill everything we can. What's their overall disposition? They don't have a single ship right now. Oh my god. This would be the perfect time to attack. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I love you guys. I hope you have a good one. I hope you are not too angry with me for restarting. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.